So good morning, embedded system DET 3102. Course outcomes. Students will be able to select the relevant microcontroller for various industrial applications. Students will be able to use the embedded C programming language to maintain embedded system. Students will be able to interpret the communication standard for embedded system. Students will be able to develop basic applications of embedded system. Students will be able to interpret features of real-time operating system. This we have started in Unit 2, okay, of embedded system. This is the Unit 2 of the embedded system. We have seen the programming embedded systems in Unit 2. The embedded system is hardware and software, and various processors are there. Basically, microcontroller is preferred, and that's why microcontroller is also called as embedded controller. Okay. So during that microcontroller, how it is different, that we have seen hardware. What are the different blocks are useful? Processor is there, along with that timer, counter, ports are there. Embedded system language, we have seen assembly level is very good language because it is actual machine code instructions, very closest to the actual machine code instructions, and it develops or generates very small size hex file. Small size hex file is very important because the output file is small, then it is beneficial because the microcontroller is having limited memory on it. But portability is not there, lack of portability, and amount of resources, time and manpower spent over developing the code is very large. So assembly language is difficult to work with. That's why the other languages C, C++, Java, Visual Basic, JavaScripts are there, but among them C is better. That's why from actual C, these are some of the parameters we considered for selecting the language for embedded system, and from actual C the embedded C is derived or is there developed. So what is difference is the embedded C is having the extensions like input output extension, then uh, it can have the fixed arithmetic, isn't it? So these are the some differences that also we have seen. Benefits are there embedded C because it is easy, it is less time consuming, modification updates are available. Library you can use directly, the library function we can use directly, and easily port the code to other architecture. Okay. So history we have seen yesterday, embedded system history, 70s, 80s it started, and C programming, and then it is popular and mostly it is used. Then embedded C programming, all the languages using same semantic and syntax, and it is having main function, declaration, data type, defining variables, loops and function statements, all same as the C programming. Additionally, it is having extensions in the embedded C than the standard C programming, and that is I/O hardware addressing, fixed point arithmetic and operation, and accessing the address space. So these are the additions, and these are the only differences also. Then there are keywords like the other C language. Embedded C is also having the keywords, and embedded C is having the data types. We have seen the different data types also: unsigned integer, signed integer, signed character, unsigned character, float, double, etc. And in embedded C, these C data types are there, but along with that, some extra data types are there. Extra data types, isn't it? In embedded C, these extra data types are there, which are bit, SBit, SFR, 16, And these data types, how much bit they are allocated, how much bits or bytes memory they are allocated for that data type, and how much range it can have, that is given in this table. This table we have seen yesterday and we have stopped with this table only. Again we will very quickly check what is there in this table. Yesterday lecture we have seen this. So in 1 or 2 minutes. What is data type? The type of the variable is the data type. Why? What type of the data we are expecting? Bit data means only single bit data. Signed integer, that means the integer which is having the sign. Unsigned integer, integer with no sign. Then character, signed character, unsigned character. Then character means only one letter text. Then float, it is a fraction number, natural number we can call. Double is the natural number of float only. Double is a float, but it is using the storage memory double than the float. S bit is a single bit, SFR and SFR60, that is address related. So bit is a 1 bit, integer signed is 16 bit, integer unsigned is 16 bit or 2 byte, but it is signed. If it is signed, the range is divided in negative side of the scale and of the number and positive side of the number, scale of the number. So total, if it is a 16 bit number, it can span 64k variables or values. So 64,000 values can be there, levels can be there. So minus 32,000 to plus 32,000, minus 32,768 to plus 32,768, 7, and that is including 0. If it is unsigned, all 16 will have positive, so 0 to 65,535. If it is character, then it is 8 bit, unsigned character, signed character. Unsigned will have complete 8 bit for the variation of the character, and in signed character, out of 8 bits, 7 bit are for variation of the value and 1 is for sign. So in signed character, minus 128 to plus 127, and in unsigned it is 0 to 255. These are the ranges. Okay, so these are about character. Float, it is having 10 raised to minus 38 to 10 raised to plus 38. In double, again minus 38 to plus 38. Because both are having bits 32. If instead of 32, 64 bits will be there, it will have a very large span again, range. Then S bit is single bit, 1 bit, it is 0 or 1 bit addressable part of the RAM. Some RAM of the microcontroller, it can be bit addressable. Other registers are only register addressable, byte addressable. So you can address the byte, that means you can store a complete byte or you can read a complete byte. But you cannot read a single bit or you cannot change the single bit. So that is a byte addressable. You have to change complete byte or you have to change read complete byte. You have to save complete byte or you can read complete byte. But in bit addressable, you can change a single bit. You can read a single bit. So that becomes bit addressable. Okay. So 0 and 1 bit addressable part of the RAM. आणि हा सर्व RAM bit addressable नसतो. Complete RAM is not like bit addressable. So some part of the RAM is bit addressable, that we should know. Then SFR, RAM addressable, 8 bit RAM addressable, and SFR 16 again RAM addressable, it is 0 to 65,535. So this we have seen yesterday. Now let us check the basic structure of the program. Basic structure of the program. So program is having the structure. C program is having particular structure that we are knowing. So similar to C programming, this is also having, that is embedded C is also having the structure. So let us check what is that basic structure. It is the basic structure of embedded C program, or we can call it as a template for embedded C program. Template means what? The empty program structure empty, and you can feel that emptiness. Template means some standard program. According to this program, you can write your code. That means first line must be this, second must be this, there must be void main, and there must be curly braces. All these are available, and in that we can fill our required code, fill in the blanks. This is called template. So this is template of embedded C program. If you check this template, there are multi-line comments. Okay. So main function is here. There are multi-line comments denoted by backslash star and star backslash. So if you are using this particular symbol, backslash and star, okay, and then star and backslash, then this will become multi-line comment. Multi-line comment. Okay, this becomes multi-line comment. Means whenever this comment starts, this is start of the comment. Thereafter all whatever you write will be the comment, and whenever the star backslash comes, then that will be the end of that comment, and after that again program starts. So comment means what? Compiler will not consider whatever written in this as a program. It will consider it as a comment. Comment is just to understand the things, remember the things, we can write the things. The programmer can write something to understand next time, after some days or next time, whenever you read the program, what is the details we can write there. So this program is for this and so on, so on, something. These are the comments, information regarding the program. So those can be written into backslash star and star backslash in between that. So this is multi-line. That means some comments are single line. That means every line you have to give that comment symbol. But multi-line, start of the comment symbol and say 10, 20, 50 line you write the text, and then at the end of the 20 line you can write star backslash. Then all this 20 line will be clubbed into a comment, converted into a comment. So this is a multi-line comment. Only one time at start of the comment you have to give backslash star, and at the end of comment one time you have to use star backslash. So this is multi-line comment, and single line comment is also there. Single line comment. So comment means that is not a program. It is for the use of the programmer to understand something, written information. Okay. So that is called comment. Single line comment is double backslash. Okay, using this, you use this double backslash, and whatever you write on that single line is comment. On next line there will be program, but again on next line if you write the double backslash, then again this line will be comment. Till the end of the line it is comment, till the end of the line. On next line this comment will not work, this symbol will not work. So again you have to rewrite new symbol of comment, and again next line will be comment. Comment means whatever written after that symbol is not considered as a program. It is considered as the comment. And comment is not used as the code. It is not used as the instruction. Okay. So multi-line comment is there, single line comment is there, star backslash and star you can have on one line. You can write anything on these lines, say like this, and at the end of the comment you can write star and backslash. So this complete block will be commented. Okay. Comment is also used for debugging. Okay, if large program is there and in that program some error is coming in the certain line, then you can comment that line and check whether programming is running correctly or not. Okay. Then pre-processor directives are there. Pre-processor directives. So some hash include is there or define is there. Okay, I will enlarge this so that it will be more readable. Multi-line comments are backslash star backslash. Then single line comments are denoted by using double backslash. Then preprocessor directives are there, and that is hash include, and these lines are there just like less than and greater than. In between these lines is signs. These dots indicates you can write the name of the file which you want to include. Suppose you want to include some file into the program, then you can write this preprocessor directive before processing the compilation or the program execution. At the top we can write this as hash include less than file name more than, and this file name is header file name. Library header files are there. Suppose some function we want to do. Suppose we want to do some function. Okay. This is a header file which are hash include the header file. What do you mean by header file? In the standard library, some header files are there. Suppose you want to use the standard input output commands, then those are included in the stdio.h. Okay, stdio.h in C program. So we have to include stdio.h. If you want to use the mathematical operations, then we have to include math.h. So math.h file is there, header file, math header file, that you have to include. Then we can use that mathematical operations. So that is called preprocessor directives. This is the preprocessor directive. Okay, that preprocessor directive we can include. Okay. Also we can have the definitions. Define. We can define something. Hash define, and giving some space we can define here. P is equal to 3.14. So P is always 3.14, that can be defined. Okay. So we'll check this afterwards. Okay. So these include and define are the directives, preprocessor directives, which are declared at the beginning of the program. Then there will be the global variables. There are types of the variables: global variables, local variables. Okay. Global variables accessible anywhere in the program. The global variable means those are variables accessible anywhere in the program. ग्लोबल व्हेरिएबल सुद्धा आपल्याला इथंच डिफाइन करायला लागतात. आफ्टर प्रीप्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव्ह वी हॅव टू डिफाइन द ग्लोबल व्हेरिएबल. So first we have to define, we can have the multi-line comments, single line comments, so that at the top of the program we can have the details of the program, or we can put the comments anywhere in between the programs. Then we have to give the preprocessor directives, include, define. Preprocessor directives include, define. Then we have to declare the global variables. Global variables means the variable declared here will be identified anywhere in the program. Program मध्ये कुठेही या त्या प्रोग्राम मध्ये, in that particular program, they can be identified anywhere in the program. Global variables. Local variable, the variable defined in some small local function. That variable will be identified in that function, and out of that function it is not identified. It vanishes. Again that function is executing, then that variable will be regenerated, recreated. Again that function ends, that variable vanishes. So local variable will not be identified outside the local loop, but global variable will be identified in all the loops, in all the blocks. total program. Okay, so that can be defined here. So global variables can be defined here, and global variables is accessible anywhere in the program. Then there is a function declaration after global variables. We can declare the function also. Declaring the function means what? Declaring the functions can be declared means what? My lecture चालू आहे बरं का. Functions can be declared. Function declaration means what? You can declare the function. This is declaring the function. Function is a specific routine. Routine means some bunch of codes. Function means a bunch of codes. Some code lines are there. Suppose you want a delay in the program. So in many places the delay is required. Okay. So again that delay you may require for 1 millisecond, 10 millisecond, 5 millisecond, etc. So you can declare some function for delay, and that function you can pass the value how much millisecond you want, and in that function you can make the provision that whatever the bracket value passed 1 millisecond, 5 millisecond, according to that much millisecond delay will be created. And these instructions you need not write again and again in the program. You declare the function. You directly declare the function, and by declaring single time function you can call this function any number of times in the program. So that reduces the effort, that reduces the code, and that makes the program more structured to understand the program, to debug the program, and to develop the program. That helps in structuring, organizing the program also, along with the reduction in the program. So function declaration can be done here, and then the main function is declared here. Okay. The main function execution begins here. At main function execution begins. At main function execution begins. The program starts at main function. Okay. Program starts at main function, and then there is a curly bracket and the closing of the curly bracket. This is one block. So from the under the main function the program begins. This is the main program. This is the curly bracket start of the main program, and whenever that is the closing of the curly bracket, that indicates that the program ended here. Main program ended here. Okay. So main function curly bracket is starting and curly bracket is ending, and in between starting of the curly bracket and ending of the curly bracket, whatever written is the program instructions or the program we can say. So program starts and ends is defined by one curly bracket opening and one curly bracket closing, curly braces. So this is the main function, and below that main function whatever the functions we have declared at the top, whatever the function declaration is there, 1 function, 2 function, maybe 10 function, 20 function, any number of function you can declare. Those function definitions are mentioned or created here. So what is the declaration is there, accordingly that function will have their definitions here. Definitions means what that function will do, that is mentioned here. That is code of the function is written here. Code of the function is written, or function is written here. Function is declared and above the main function, but function is code is written after the main function routine. So there is a function definition defining the function, Again, in function definition, there is the opening of the curly brace or closing of the curly brace, and that indicates this is the total block of the function. Because after this function, you may have another function, many functions. Every functions will have function definition. Below that, opening curly brace and closing curly brace, and again next function definition. Then opening curly brace, closing curly brace, and this so on. And thus opening and closing curly braces will help the compiler to identify that how much is this function from this to this, how many instructions are belonging to this function. So where the function starts and where the function ends, that can be identified by the compiler with the help of these curly braces. So this is about the multi-line comments. Multiple lines of the comments can be possible. Single line comments, double backslash, it is only for single line. Preprocessor directives are there, include, #include and #define. Then global variables are defined here. Those are variables which can be identifiable in complete program. Then functions, whatever functions you have to write at the end, those functions can be declared first, declaring the function, and then the main function starts. The main function execution begins, and main function will have the program, actual program, main program. That main program starts with the curly braces opening and ends with the curly braces closing. So in between the curly braces opening and curly braces closing, there will be total program, and after the completion of the main program, then there will be a function definitions. Just like the main program, you can write the function name, function definition, it is defining of the function, and this function will have opening brace, curly brace and closing curly brace. In between the opening curly brace and closing curly brace, there will be the program of the function. And again one function is there. After that we can write second function, define second function, third function, how whatever many number of functions you have declared, all you can write here. So what is there in the main program or function program in between the curly braces? What is there in main program? What is there in the function program? Within the curly braces, opening of the curly brace and closing of the curly brace, what is there? So if you consider this particular block, main function block or main program, it is opening of curly brace, closing of curly brace. What are there? There are local variable declaration in the main function. Global variables are above main function. Our global variable declaration is above main function. Those variables will be always there. But local variables are in the functions, main function or other functions. So local variables are declared here, variables confined to main function. So local variables declared inside the main function, they will be confined only in that main function. That means available only in that main function. Then function calls are there. If whatever the functions are written, function number 1, 2, 3, 4, those can be called function 2, function 3, function 5, function 2, function 1, function 1, function 2, function 3, any type, any way, any number of times you can call the functions, like delay function, like any other functions. Okay. So these are the calling other functions. In main function, you are calling the other functions which you have written below this. Here we are defined. Okay, calling other functions. Also, there is maybe infinite loops like while one or for semicolon semicolon. While one is infinite loop. For semicolon semicolon is infinite loop. Infinite loop means in the open source software and hardware, we have seen Arduino software. There are two blocks we have seen. That is one is the declaration is there, and in that structure, program structure, and second is loop is there, and in loop the total program executes infinite time. So this we have discussed in. So same is there. You can write here infinite loop. Infinite loop can be written as while bracket 1. So while bracket 1, while what does while do? The while is checking some condition. So if the condition is always 1, while will be always executing. So always while goes on executing. So this becomes infinite loop. For no condition is written. For semicolon semicolon. So initialization and then condition checking and increment all are absent. So this for semicolon semicolon in executes same as a while one and it goes into infinite loop. Or there may be statements, one only single statements. A is equal to this, B equal to this, C is equal to A plus B, D is equal to B minus A. These are the statements, printf, scanf and all that. Output, pin number something, pin number this may be inputted, pin number this may be outputted, this pin number may be read. So these are the simple statements. So this type of the instructions you can give into main function. So there may be local variables, there may not be local variables, there may be function calls, there may not be function calls, there may be infinite loops, there may not be infinite loops, there may be statements. Okay. So main functions may have any type of the coding depending on your coding requirement. Infinite loop, if you want you can put into that, otherwise if you don't want you cannot, you do not write that infinite loop. If functions are required you can write the functions and call the functions. If you do not want to write the functions and call the functions, you do not call the functions. Okay, some statements, whatever the required program statements are there, those program statements you can include right there. If you do not have the any statements, you cannot write the statement. Minimum required statements you can write. Always there are some statements in the program, then and then only it is called program. And what is the program in the function? Function is also having the local variable and statements. Function is also having the local variables and statements. So functions are having similar programming as that of the main function. Okay, local variables are there, statements are there, but infinite loop and function calls may be there, may not be there. It depends on which type of the function you are writing. So this is about the basic structure of embedded C program. How the program is in the embedded C, isn't it? We have seen how the program is in the Arduino. Similarly, how the program is in the embedded C, we have seen. You must have done how the program is in the assembly language in the previous semester. So this semester, how the program in the embedded C is there, that we are learning. Okay. Every program is having its own structure. Accordingly, there is a structure that commenting may be there, preprocessor directives are there, global variable declaration, function declaration will be there, and then main function will start. Main function ends and then function definition starts. Various function definitions can be there. Function definition as well as main function is having its own program instructions. They are closed by the curly braces. And this main function may have local variables, function calls, infinite loops, statements, etc. And local global function definition also will have the local variables and statements. What are the different components of embedded C programming? Different components of embedded C programming or program. Components means the parts. Okay. Program madle parts. Just now we have seen there are some components, isn't it? Comment is a component, isn't it? Comment is a one part type of the part in the program. Comments. Components madle comments. Comments are readable text that are written to help us, that is the reader, programmer, to understand code easily. Comments are readable text. Comments are readable text that are written to help us, the reader, understand code easily. Comments are readable text that are written to help us or reader understand the code easily. ओके. कॉमेंट मध्ये टेक्स्ट लिहिला जातो. तुम्हाला जे काय लिहायचं आहे तो टेक्स्ट तो रिडेबल असतो, आपल्याला रीड करता येतो. तर कशासाठी असतं तर कोडला आपल्याला इझिली अंडरस्टँड करण्यासाठी लिहितो. आपण लिहितो आज डेट 7 October 2021 I am developing this program so and so, and this program is I am developing for the project this part of this project as this program will do this and this and this will change the temperature. So whatever you want to write about that, you can write in the minimum text. Okay, otherwise the text itself will become very large. So this is comment. They are ignored by the compiler. Comments are ignored by the compiler. If they are commented text, it is ignored by the compiler. Compilation of that text will not take place. Compiler ignores that and do not take up any memory in the final code. आउटपुट जो आउटपुट कोड असेल किंवा आउटपुट एक्झिक्युटेबल फाईल असेल त्याच्यामध्ये हे इन्क्लूड होत नाही, त्याच्यामुळे मेमरीवर परिणाम होत नाही. पाहिजे तेवढा तुम्हाला कॉमेंट लिहिता येतो. सो फायनल कोड विल बी डेव्हलप्ड आफ्टर कंपायलेशन. कंपायलेशन नंतर फायनल कोड जो होतो एक्झिक्युटेबल फाईल असते त्याची मेमरी ही लिमिटेड असते, याच्यात कॉमेंट्स येत नाहीत. पण तुम्ही जो प्रोग्राम सेव्ह केलेला असतो त्याची मेमरी कॉम्प्युटरमध्ये जास्त होऊ शकते, जास्त होतेच, कारण ते टेक्स्टची फाईल आहे, त्या आपण लिहिलेल्या टाईप केलेल्या. पण कंपाईल केल्यानंतर जी काय एक्झिक्युटेबल फाईल होते तयार, आउटपुट फाईल, त्या फाईलमध्ये मात्र फक्त प्रोग्रामचेच कंपायलेशनचं मेमरी तयार होते, एक्झिक्युटेबल फाईल तयार होते आणि त्याच्यात कॉमेंट्स मात्र काही येत नाही. त्याच्यामुळं त्याचा कोड जो आहे त्याच्या मेमरी साईज जो आहे त्याच्यावर आपण लिहिलेल्या कॉमेंटचा काहीही इफेक्ट होत नाही. सो दे आर इग्नोर्ड बाय द कंपायलर. डू नॉट टेक up any memory in the final code after compilation. There are two ways you can write the comments. You can write the comments. There are two ways. Okay, you can write the comment in two ways. One is a single line comments denoted by a backslash, double backslash rather, single line comment denoted by double backslash, and other is a multi line comment denoted by or written by backslash star, then block, multiple lines are there, and then star backslash. One line single line comment is denoted by double backslash and other is multi line comments denoted by backslash star and star backslash. Okay, so these are the comments, which is the two types of the comments, single line comment, multi line comment. So this is the comment, which is the component of embedded C program. Comment is the one component. So there are different components of embedded C program. So this is the comment is the one component of embedded C program. Then different components of embedded C program. Under this we can have, after comment we can have processor directive. To direct the process there is a processor, there is a processor directive. The processor directive we have seen in the structure of the program. There are directive like define, there is directive like include, etc. Hash include, hash define. The processor directive in embedded C is an indication to the compiler that it must look into this file for symbols that are not defined in the program. प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव्ह जो असतो तो प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव्ह काय असतो So that processor directive in embedded C is an indication to the compiler. It is the indication to the compiler that just Mr. Compiler, it must look it into this file, whatever the directive file is attached. Mr. Compiler, just look this file. This file is there, and in that file the symbols are there which are not defined in the program. Program may not have the definition of the symbols used, but those symbols are there in that file, readily available header file. So those symbols are defined symbols. So those symbols are used in the program. They are not defined in the program, but they are directly used. But their definitions are there in the preprocessor directive files. So these are called preprocessor directives. So preprocessor directive, processor directive in the embedded C is an indication of the compiler, indication to the compiler. Processor directive in the embedded C is indication to the compiler that it must look into this file. Directive मध्ये जी file दिलेली असते ना, look into that file for symbols that are not defined in the program. Okay. So this is the preprocessor directive. Is one component. Okay. So before that, comment is a one component, preprocessor directive is a one more component. In C programming language, also in embedded C program, the preprocessor directives are usually represented using hash symbol. Normally, hash symbol is used for preprocessor directive. Okay, preprocessor directive. Hash include is there, hash define is there. The embedded C programming, in embedded C programming, we usually use the preprocessor directive to indicate a header file specific to the microcontroller. In embedded C programming, we usually use the preprocessor directive. We use that preprocessor directive. प्रीप्रोसेसरचा जो डायरेक्टिव्ह कशासाठी वापरला जातो? टू इंडिकेट द हेडर फाईल. हॅश include header file. It indicate the header file specific to that microcontroller, which contains all the SFRs and the bits in those SFRs, which contains all the SFRs and the bits in those SFRs. Okay. In case of 8051, Kill compiler has the file reg51.h. Okay. reg51. So we can write hash include reg51.h, which must be written in the beginning of every embedded C program, which must be written at the start of beginning of every embedded program. reg51.h. This inclusion, okay, this preprocessor directive must be written on every embedded C program at the start of the embedded C program. What are the other components of the embedded C program? There is a global variable, there is a local variable. Okay, main function is also. What is global variable? Variable which is available throughout the program is a global variable. Global variable, as the name suggests, are global to the program. That is, they can be accessed anywhere in the program. They can be used, accessed anywhere in the program. And what is local variable? Local variable, in the contrast to the global variable चा just opposite असेल, in the contrast असेल, are confined to their respective function, are limited area or limited use are confined in their respective function. ज्या फंक्शन मध्ये लोकल व्हेरिएबल डिफाईन केलाय फक्त त्या फंक्शनशी रिलेटेड किंवा लिमिटेड लोकल व्हेरिएबल असेल. ग्लोबल व्हेरिएबल हा ग्लोबल असेल, ग्लोबली अवेलेबल. Okay, so global variables are there, local variables are there. Now what about main function? Main function, every C or embedded C program has one main function. Every C or embedded C program has one main function. This is also component of embedded program. Every C or embedded C program has one main function, from where the execution of program begins. From main function, execution of program begins. From main function, the execution of program begins. प्रोग्राम सुरू होतो तिथून मेन फंक्शन मधून पासून. Execution of program begins. Main function. Every C and embedded C has one main function from where the execution of program begins. So main function is the actual function, and some other sub programs are there in the functions, defined functions. Those are defined functions. But main function is the main program of the embedded C. Just like the C also, main function is the main program. In the embedded C also, main function is the main program. There is no difference in C and embedded C. Some extensions are there in the embedded C. Now the compiler reduces the hex file that is downloaded to ROM of microcontroller. Okay, compilers produce the hex file. So whenever we compile the program compilation means what? Compiler means what? Again, we'll revisit the same concept. We have discussed this. What is compiler? There is a microcontroller which works on machine language. There is a microprocessor which works on machine level language. Machine level language is the language of ones and zeros. So machine or microprocessor, microcontroller understands ones and zeros. So those ones and zeros can be used to program. It becomes very difficult in terms of ones and zeros to program. We are using assembly level language, assembly language. In that some English short words are created: MOV, move, MIV, MVI, move immediate, JN, jump carry, JNC, jump not carry, etc. Okay. JMP, jump. So this assembly level language is closer to the machine level language. Okay. So to map, what do we mean by, what is the instruction, machine level language instruction of the jump? What is the machine level instruction of MOV in the assembly? Assembly is having MOV, but what is there in the machine level language? That conversion is called compilation. Or the assembly level language becomes time consuming or difficult to code, use. Then we are gone for higher level language, C programming, embedded C programming. Now in case of C programming, embedded C programming, what is there? There is a compiler. You write the English like words, keywords, standard keywords are there, English like. They the programmer understands it very easily. but those keywords cannot be understood by the machine. So those keywords are to be converted into machine understandable code, ones and zero, and that is done by compiler. Okay, and then after compilation by the compiler is a compiler program, that compilers produce a hex files. Okay, after compilation, after conversion from higher level to the machine level language, that compiler produce the hex file. Hex file is the ones and zeros file. Hex file contains all ones and zeros in the hexadecimal form. So this is the machine readable, machine understandable language or machine language. It is machine language. It is machine language. Okay. So this machine language is produced by compiler after compilation. Okay. And this is hex files. So compiler generates hex files, and that is downloaded to the ROM of microcontroller. मायक्रोकंट्रोलरच्या रॉम मध्ये डाउनलोड केली जाते. डाउनलोड केली जाते म्हणजे काय, राईट केली जाते रॉम मध्ये. ओके, रॉम मध्ये इझिली राईट होत नाही म्हणून त्याला डाउनलोड करावं लागतं, असं प्रोसेस करायला लागते व्होल्टेज वगैरे अप्लाय करून. फ्लॅश मेमरी आजकाल आलेले आहेत ते इझिली डाउनलोड पण होतात, राईट पण होतात. पेन ड्राईव्ह आपली फ्लॅश असते ना, फ्लॅश मेमरी, इझिली वी कॅन राईट अँड डिलीट अँड रीड अँड. आणि पेनड्राईव्ह आपण विड्रॉ केला, खिशात ठेवला तरी तो काही इरेज होत नाही, नॉन व्होलाटाईल आहे, म्हणजे तो रॉम आहे, रॉम सारखं काम करतो. आणि फ्लॅश मेमरी आहे म्हणजे फटकन फास्ट आपल्याला ऍक्सेस करता येते. कंपायलर्स प्रोड्यूस हेक्स फाईल दॅट इज डाउनलोडेड टू द रॉम ऑफ द मायक्रोकंट्रोलर. मायक्रोकंट्रोलरचा जो रॉम आहे त्याच्यामध्ये डाउनलोड किंवा आपण राईट करू शकतो हेक्स फाईल. कंपायलर प्रोड्यूस हेक्स फाईल दॅट इज डाउनलोडेड टू द रॉम कंट्रोलर. आता हा रॉम ऑफ द मायक्रोकंट्रोलर मध्ये आपण राईट करायचा आहे. मग मायक्रोकंट्रोलरचा रॉम हा लिमिटेड असतो, रीड ओनली मेमरी मायक्रोकंट्रोलरची ही लिमिटेड असते. मायक्रोकंट्रोलर हॅज लिमिटेड रीड ओनली मेमरी. मग आपल्याला काळजी घ्यायला लागली, केअर मस्ट बी टेकन दॅट द जनरेटेड हेक्स फाईल मस्ट बी मिनिमम पॉसिबल, इजंट इट? द साइज ऑफ हेक्स फाईल इज द मेन कन्सर्न. That's why the size of hex file is the main concern. Size of hex file must be optimized, limited, must be reduced. It is the main concern. Microcontrollers have limited on-chip ROM. Microcontrollers on-chip ROM have very limited. That's why this is the concern. Therefore, in case of 8051, the code space for 8051 is limited to 64 kilobytes. The code space for 8051 is limited to 64 kilobytes. Again, that you can connect the external RAM, that's why. C programming is less time consuming, but C programming has larger hex file size. Assembly language is more time consuming, but it produces smaller hex files. C programming is less time consuming, but C programming has larger hex files. Okay. So this is about the compilation process, isn't it? This is about the compilation process. So why to write C program? C is easier, less time consuming to write the C in assembly than assembly. These are the reasons to writing the programs in C. Why we go for C program? Why we select or go for C program? C program आपण का घेतलेला आहे एम्बेडेड सिस्टमला? It is easier, C programming, and less time consuming. टाइम कन्झम्पशन लेस आहे, कारण इंग्लिश लाईक कीवर्ड्स आहेत, व्हेरी फास्टली वी कॅन कोड इट. ओके, नॉट मच वर्क इज required. In case of assembly level language, you have to check the assembly level code and then check the its mnemonic and check write the program, and you may use that this hex numbers for those, and then you have to write the program and then you have to download it. So, like that. In this case, directly write in the C language keywords, and once the program is written, compile it, and you will get the hex file and download it. So work becomes very less, and while writing and developing the program also, it becomes very easy. Okay, while developing the program, to keep the track of the various loops, to keep the track of the variables, to keep the track of the program flow, to debug the program, whatever the program flow is there, by tracking that program flow, you can understand the working of the program. All these things becomes very easy in C program as compared to assembly level or assembly program. Okay, so development of the program becomes easier. So overall, it is easier and less time consuming to write the C program. It is not just writing the C programming. While writing the C programming, we have to understand the flow, we have to understand the logic, we have to understand the bugs or the problems in that programs. We have to debug that, we have to remove the bugs, faults from the program, and we have to optimize the code, everything. We have to track that flow, where the program execution is going on. We have to test that. All these things is called writing. Overall, writing is easy than assembly. C is easier to modify and update. Overall, the C software is there that is easier to modify as well as to update that overall C software. And use of code available in function libraries is possible. Whenever we want to use the code in the libraries, those can be also possible to use. Use of the code available in the function library is possible. You can call these functions or you can use those codes. Okay. So use of code available in the function library is also possible. There are readily available function libraries. What do you mean by function libraries? So whenever we are coding something, whenever we are writing the program, many things we want to write repeatedly, isn't it? Suppose delay. You have to write every program delay routine. So why not to make a library such that always required routines are there, those can be permanently stored into those libraries, and we can call those library files whenever we require, as and when we require. Suppose delay is kept in the library, once it is written as a code and it is kept in the library. So every programmer requires the delay in every program. Every developer is requires the delay routine in every program, and in many times, in single program, many times delay is required. So one program, developer is developing one program today, and in that program he requires delay some 5-10 times. So why again and again write that delay program? Keep it in the library so that this developer will use today in this program. Just call the delay. And just like this developer, there are thousands of the developers all over the world, and they are developing the program, and they all are requiring the delay for their program. And tomorrow also they require again that delay, or day after tomorrow regularly they require delay. So why to waste the manpower, why to waste the efforts in writing again and again the same thing? Whatever the required, most of the times required things are there, those can be once prepared and put into library, and we can call it again and again. We just call it. Ready-made available routines are there, those are called libraries. Ready-made available program routines or blocks are there. Those are called libraries. In libraries, ready-made functions are there, and those ready-made functions you can call again and again, and that is the provision provided, available. Use of code available in the function libraries is possible. So this is about the function library. That's why we have to use the C, because there is a function library in the C language. C language is having function library. Okay. So that's why we have to use C language. Okay. Then the C code is portable to other microcontroller with little or no modification. C code is portable to other microcontroller with little or no modification. Okay. C code is portable to other microcontroller with little or no modification. So C code is portable to all the microcontrollers. Sometimes it may require some small changes, or sometimes it may not require the changes, modifications. So C code is portable. So these are the reasons, these are the benefits, these are the advantages of the C program. That's why the embedded programming selected the C program. So these are the reasons of writing the program in the C. It is easier and less time consuming to write the program in the C than the assembly. C is easier to modify and update. Use of the code available in function libraries is possible. Function library directly you can use. These codes you can use. It is possible to use the code available in the function libraries. Then C code is portable to other microcontroller. It can be, you can port one from one microcontroller to other microcontroller. Porting is possible. They are portable. Therefore, this porting is without any modification or some little modification may be required. So these are the advantages. So these are the reasons why the C language is there for the embedded systems. I think we have seen the details, software details. We are running with the software details of the embedded C, as well as we are running with the same things in the open source software and hardware. Second unit, both the syllabus curriculum of open source software hardware as well as embedded C, both are having second unit related to the software, the respective software. So you may find many similarities in that, and just like the revision of the same things, but that is to be discussed into that syllabus. This is to be the same thing, maybe many similar things discussed to related to this syllabus. Things are same or similar, exactly not same, may not say. Okay, we'll stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue lecture. Tomorrow time some disturbance is there with my schedule. Tomorrow I will give you a time accordingly. Okay. Tomorrow morning I think may not be possible. Let us check. Okay. So accordingly before 1 or 2 hours I will give the notice. So whatever is the time. So if in morning it is not possible, afternoon 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock I will engage the class, but before that 1-2 hour this notice I will give, or the message I will give, so that you will be prepared. And another thing is, if you are having any other class engagements, those class engagements you can tell me prior. So if I declare some time, so suppose at 1 o'clock I will say that, send the message that at 3 o'clock there will be class, immediately you can tell, so that I can reschedule it. It is not the problem. Okay. So okay, then we'll stop here. Thank you. I will upload this on the YouTube. You can again revisit to the lectures, and you can prepare the notes and you can study. Thank you.